Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome to the After School Scholar. This is my very first YouTube video ever. I've never done one before. I normally share our journey on Instagram, but I've decided that I've been getting a little bit long-winded and YouTube is a better platform for that. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Micheline. I normally share what I am doing with my 6-year-old. I work full-time. I'm a full-time working mom, and he goes to public school full-time. And this is how I'm supplementing his education. We do it after school with various different curricula. We just happen to be working our way through More StoryTime Treasures right now with Memoria Press, but we are very eclectic. I use a bunch of different curriculums, and so this is what we did last night. I will share the video next. With our next book, this was the book that we are currently on. We did the first half of the reading last night, and I just cannot say enough about this curriculum. I love it very much. So as you know, I always go through and do some pre-reading exercises. So this is the book. I always do some pre-reading exercises. And so initially what we do is we read the title of the book. That's what we do initially. Initially, we read the title of the book. We identify the authors and the illustrator of the book. I normally ask him, have we read this author before? And I ask him, based on this illustration, to make a simple prediction about what the story could possibly be about based on the title and the illustration. We normally find the copyright date. The copyright date, which is right there. He does the math to determine how old the book is. And we've determined that it's approximately 90 years old. Then we take out our history year by year, or we take out our timeline of things book, and we look at cars or airplanes or boats to see what those looked like then. And that's normally how we do our pre-reading exercises. So we have a running timeline right now, and he looks and see 90 years ago was approximately who was president, what was going on in the world, things like that. So we do use the visual resources to kind of give them an idea of what things looked like at the time, which is really, really great for a 6-year-old to understand what things looked like during that time. We normally identify the vocabulary words. Then we get into here. I normally have the teacher's guide. This book remains closed during this process, so we keep this closed. I'll set it aside. We keep that closed, and I normally have my teacher's book here in my hand, and so for him, reading is not an issue, so I haven't really been focusing on reading as much. So what I have him do is I have him, it's recommended to read, use in a sentence. In our case, I make him spell and then use it in a sentence. So he normally spells the word and then use the word in a sentence. So after we go through all of these words, I then identify which words he may have difficulty with, which words he do not understand. I clear up any misunderstanding, and we pull out our thesaurus book, and we kind of look at the different synonyms for that word, and we make many sentences. And after that, I read. I do the physical reading. Now he does not do the reading. I read aloud, and he listens. I read with the pages open. Sometimes the illustrations facing him. So I read these pages aloud, and he listens. And then, because that's the skill we're working on his listening comprehension. If he was allowed to read this book, he would be able to answer these questions with no issue. His issue is not reading and being able to answer. His issue is listening and being able to discern what's happening through listening comprehension. And so what I do is I read, and he listens, and then he answers these questions after we do the reading. So he goes through and he reads the sentence, write it, and then he goes through and he answers the questions, and he answers how he answers it how he understands it. Like the word urge. What does urge means? To him, urge means to hurry or to force. It actually means to force, but he kept saying he's just trying to make him hurry. So I helped him with the word force. To urge is to force. What does give way mean? And this was really fun because it got very animated. We kept like throwing ourselves on the couch and pretending the couch gave way, and kind of giving him an idea what does give way means, and he answers it, and his word breaks apart. That's what give way means to him. The word sweeping. So this one was a little difficult. He didn't understand if something is sweeping, what that actually means. So it means moving to him, because I got the broom and I started kind of like sweeping to him. It meant moving, but it also means like quickly moving. It moves quickly. And too much. And I just kept saying, well, you and your new puppy are just absolutely too much. And like he didn't get it. So I was trying to find different ways, and he came up with overwhelming. Too much means it's just overwhelming. It's just too much, which was fine by me. The teacher's guide do give you some idea of what the child should say. Foreground at the edge of the brook crumbled. He put brook apart, but crumbled is good. Moving quickly. He just had moving, and very upsetting, which is over something that's overwhelming you can be very upsetting. So that was what we did for Blaze and the Forest Fire. And it goes on and it gives you more things to do. He had to recall a part of the story and the way it occurred. And then let's see here. It was against the law to build fires in the woods during the dry season. Why was it unsafe? So he had to understand like what against the law mean. Why would building fires during a dry season be unsafe? And he put, because it will start a forest fire. What did Billy decide to do when he saw the forest fire? He just put, he decided to get help. So we go through these. This one was fun. Three obstacles he had. We had to talk about what an obstacle is. He understood that very well. And this is the part that I love very much. We have been doing punctuations forever, but never ever did I ever call it a declarative, interrogative, or exclamatory. So now he actually has the real definitions of these punctuations, and he is so thrilled. He's even using it now whenever we're reading our books during bedtime. He's saying, oh, look at that. That was an exclamatory sentence. And so I really love the sentence type exercise because this was fun. I've never used these explicit words in the past, but we've been doing it for years, but we've just never used those words. And he was tired. He was over it towards the end of the night. He had to rewrite a sentence. They were very short, and I caught him on the last one, and he wrote a better one. He wrote, suddenly Billy pulled Blaze to a stop, and a period is right there. So fun times. So this is what we're doing with Memoria Press. We read from 1 to 22, and that was our lesson last night. I will try to add some clips of that particular lesson, but it was this has been so rewarding. We have enjoyed it so much. Oh, and whenever he was doing his retell, we've been using our Jack and Link resources, our dry erase resources. So as I'm reading, he had all of the vocabulary words in front of him. And as I'm reading, as he heard the vocabulary words, he would pull it, and we would then talk about how was that word used, in a phrase. And then he did the retell, beginning, middle, and end. And we used our road or street to be able to retell the story. But this has been extraordinarily rewarding. My cup is full. Memoria Press is giving me everything we need right now. See it far off in the distance. In the middle of the field was a brook. In the middle of the field was a brook. There was no bridge and no time to look for a shallow place to cross. Come on, Blaze. Oh, snap, you're fighting. Okay. All right, you found another one. Okay. All right. Come on, Blaze, called Billy, and Blaze went even faster than before. That's the middle part?
It's between the beginning and the middle.
I see. Okay.
I was running with the wind, kicking up the dust. No reins on my heart, no one I could trust. Chasing every sunset, thinking I was free. But the road I was on was running over me. Then you called my name through the thunder and rain, and I felt your mercy break through